Okay. I love them going first because the launch that I chose is actually her most recent one. So it's the launch of her new album, her upcoming album, The Tortured Poets Department. It's going to be her 11th studio album, which is crazy, considering she was born in 1989. And she's coming off of her hottest year yet in the middle of the Eras tour. So there's already a lot of hype and excitement here. I love this example because I actually think it demonstrates how she's been able to put into use so many different techniques that she's mastered over the last few years. So I'll talk a little bit today about like puzzles, themes, the concept of community-led growth. And so I love them going first because it's almost like the culmination of everything that she's learned previously. So important context, though, before I go into why I chose this launch. Leading up to the announcement of this launch, Swifties everywhere were waiting for the announcement of Reputation, Taylor's version. So she only has 2 more original albums left to re-record, and a Reputation everyone felt like was going to be the next one up. And people have been decoding Easter eggs for months now, thinking that she's teasing a Reputation announcement. So that's really important context. So the reason I love this launch, I broke it into 2 parts. I'm going to talk about the announcement day, and then I'm going to talk about before and after the announcement. So the announcement day, February 4th, the day of the Grammys. And things start early. So we wake up and she's changed her profile pictures on all of her social media platforms, and now everything is black and white. This is important because the Reputation album is all black and white. So everyone thought like, oh, today's the day. This is going to be it. Then her website is down the entire day with an error message. But the error message isn't actually an error message. It's a word puzzle that when you solve the word puzzle, it says red herring. And so it's like, oh, is she telling us that what we think is happening today isn't actually happening today? Like people are like buzzing. So now it's the red carpet of the Grammys. People feel like something's definitely happening today. She comes out and she's wearing like a white and black outfit. Again, very Reputation vibes. She also has this like choker on with a watch. It's set to midnight. Her midnight album is up for an award, but also does that mean she's announcing something at midnight? So like the internet has gone crazy. Everyone is watching. And so by the time she wins, goes on stage to accept her Grammy, everyone is just like waiting with bated breath. But no one expected what she actually did, which was basically she turned her Grammy announcement, like acceptance speech, into the announcement of her new album, The Tortured Poets Department. So everyone's like freaking out. They had no idea she's been working on it. She says she's been working on it for 2 years, and it's this big secret that she's been keeping. And I love this because actually something more important was even happening. So she won Album of the Year for the 4th time, and she actually set a brand new record with this. She's the first and only artist to win 4 times. And that accomplishment in itself was completely overshadowed by how like excited the world was about the launch announcement. And like I cannot think of many other products that your product announcement gets that much excitement, right? So then she runs off stage. She says she posts on Instagram. I'm sure it's her team doing it. But she follows up with like the album cover and a little line from it. And then in less than 24 hours, there's more than 13 million likes. And the album surpassed the first hour pre-order for Midnight's, the previous album, in less than half the time. So people are like ready and waiting. They want to buy it. And what I love about the Grammy announcement is obviously there's so many things packed into this one launch day. But she didn't like create this event herself. She basically hijacked the Grammys and used someone else's platform. But also she like anchored this new product in her past success. She doesn't need to talk about her past success. We all know. But she basically was like, do you love this Grammy winning album? I've got another one ready to go. It's like the ultimate testimonial, right? Okay, so that's Grammy Day. That's the day of the announcement. But what I think makes this launch even better is that she was able to generate buzz and excitement both leading up to the Grammys and then after. And I think this is the magic of Taylor Swift, is that she keeps people so engaged in everything that she does. It really is a community, right? We're Swifties. So every choice that she made about this product was an intentional one, we think. And this is kind of the fun of Taylor Swift, is like no one knows if like we're making this stuff up or if she's intentional about this. But here's some of the things people are talking about with the album. So the album launches on April 19th. The day that album will be released is exactly 1 year to the day when her best friends, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, unfollowed her ex on Instagram. And this is like a very important day in like the Swiftie universe, right? Because this album is meant to be the breakup album with that ex. The name of the album is a hint towards Joe's, her ex, WhatsApp group. So he had a group chat called the Tortured Man Club. And this is now called the Tortured Poets Department, right? So it's like, come on, there's so many similarities there. The theming of the album is top notch. I think we talk a lot about launch themes, and she totally leans into this idea of like a poet or a writer. Instead of songs, they're called files. The aesthetic of the album and everything, the lyrics, it's very this like dark academia look, which is very on trend right now and definitely plays into this idea of almost like the Dead Poets Society, if you remember that movie. And she just kept like the drumbeat of the conversation going. So she took some of the techniques she's used on past launches. And one of them was to have exclusive artwork and songs on different versions of her album. So she announces 4 special editions of the album, physical editions. Each one will come with their own exclusive song and its own artwork. And she didn't just announce them on one day as well. She kind of drips them out over a series of weeks. So people are like constantly talking about the album, either decoding the Easter eggs or talking about what's to come. And I think the biggest one of all is like, I actually think this is just a big promotion for the Reputation re-record. So if Reputation was like the beginning of her relationship with Joe, then Tortured Poets is the end of it. It's bookends, they're mirror albums, they're both black and white. She released Reputation when she was at her lowest. She's releasing Tortured Poets when she's at her highest. And so I think it's one big extra publicity stunt. But what I will say is, with Tortured Poets Department, she isn't just launching a new album, she's launching a new era.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Did you have that sentence written down? Like, that was great.
I did craft that sentence.
Well done. My goodness. All right.
What do you guys think?
I think it's cool. I just love how she uses Easter eggs. Like, she's so good at it. That like landing page with the like red herring kind of thing. Like, it's she's very good at that. She may be very good at many things, but like the way she does Easter eggs and stuff, and the way that her fan base is like so engaged at figuring these things out. Like, how did they know that her watch was set to midnight? Did someone like screenshot a picture of her with a watch on and like zoom in and stuff? Like,
oh, yes. I mean, people are obsessed with this. Like, there's Reddit, you can go very, very deep on this. There's Twitter threads, there's everything. And I think that's what I loved about this launch is like people are constantly decoding everything she's doing, everything she's wearing, anything she releases. But with this, it was like, because there's so many things on one day, people were like watching the whole day, and almost this like movement came up on that day to be like, what is happening today? Today feels important, and no one knew until the end of the day why it was important, which was kind of cool.
That is cool.
I just think it's so badass that they planned this entire launch based on the fact that she's going to win album of the year. Like, all right, let's just assume that you're going to win the most prestigious musical award of the year. And then when you do that, X, Y, or Z things, like, do you think that they had a plan B if she didn't win, or what do you think?
Yeah, I think so. She was up for a lot of different awards between album of the year, like pop vocal album of the year. There was a song nomination. So I think the plan was probably like, whatever your first award is, then you launch that. Maybe. But I did see some stuff online being like, I wonder what the backup plan was. What if she hadn't won anything? I mean, then maybe she still would have posted on Instagram, and all of the other things that happened that day would have also made sense. Like, that's what I loved about it too. It's not like her being on stage at the Grammys was the only thing that made that day successful. It was one of many different things. And so they all intertwined together.
Right.
Maybe she would have walked up on stage with the person who was getting it. She would have taken it and then said, I'm going to let you finish.
Kanye West move?
Yeah.
And then made her announcement.
Oof. That will be...
Well, people who know Taylor Swift will know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Oh, that's old school Taylor Swift. Her first album? No, that was a music video. That was the VMAs, I think.
don't know.
Yeah.
But Kanye was the one who went up and took it. Yeah. He thought someone else should have won it, right?
Beyonce. Yeah, he thought it should have been for all single ladies. I do remember that. Now, all these memories are flooding back. It's crazy too. Taylor Swift she's still so young. That's I think the craziest thing. Oh my God. Like, she's just been in the zeitgeist for so long. but is still like cranking out and doing these incredible launches. It's wild.
Yeah. I also love the idea of these like two mirroring albums and like this, just how everything is like so connected, and it's because every album is like a story of her life. They are all naturally just going to be connected, and just like the fact that this one's the end of a relationship and the other one's the beginning of that relationship, and the two can go together. It makes so much sense that they're kind of like two albums that can almost come as a package. You listen to them, it's almost like getting the full story. It's very cool.
Exactly.